A lot of times when I'm painting, especially when it isn't going the way I want it to or I think it should go, I often stop and ask that question to myself. Why am I doing this? There's a lot of motivating factors for creating art. They're usually blended together. It's not one specific reason or another. Am I overthinking this stuff? Probably. Is it for money? Is it for attention? Is it for learning? Is it for fun? Again, it's a blend of all of these things, and these are very generalized, simplified categories. There's actually subcategories for each of these. For money, it might be a commission, or maybe it's for the potential to sell something, maybe at a festival or get into a gallery. For attention, it could be likes on Instagram or comments on YouTube, or it could be to be recognized in your field as an artist that's of a certain caliber. It could be just to get a nice compliment from a friend or family member. Learning, there's all different levels of that, right? It could be you're doing a very specific task, just trying to learn a very specific technique or a new style or a new subject. But I think you also just learn in general every time you make art because your brain and your subconscious are sort of absorbing knowledge and growing knowledge through that practice. And then for fun, again, there's many different categories. It's not just to do it. It's almost like this category of I have to, right? I have to express myself. I have this idea. I have this concept. I can't not do this. It gives me energy. It gives me joy. And again, usually when I'm painting, it's not black or white. It's not one or the other. It's usually a mix of these things. And I'm sure there's others. But the reason I want to talk about this today is because in this painting that I'm working on here, although it was probably a mix of all these things, the main reason I was painting this painting was absolutely under the for money category. I had this idea that I painted a few flamingos and they had been well received. And I kind of had this idea that I could do other subjects that were maybe related that I might be able to bundle together with the flamingos and potentially submit them to some galleries, sort of under the category of coastal art. And so I had this idea that I would experiment and play with some abstract landscapes and some beaches. So I jumped right into it. And, again, I was having fun doing it. I feel like I was learning something while I was doing it. But the primary motivating factor was that I was hoping that this would garner attention and that potentially it would be something I could sell. As I was working on this piece, I started to struggle, honestly, a little bit with it. And, looking back on the footage of this, it's always interesting to go back and look at it later. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. In my mind, it was just not working out the way I wanted it to, or I hoped it would, or I had envisioned that it would. Watching the footage, I can say that it actually wasn't that bad. I think there was definitely some interesting things happening, and I probably, looking back on it, should have just taken this painting and set it aside and then reflected on it later. But at some point, my motivation for doing this work changed, and it switched from primarily being about wanting attention and money, or the potential for money, to I want to do something fun and I want to have fun doing this. I just had this itch that there was something inside of me that had to come out. There was this energy that had to be expressed. And so I basically changed what I was doing. I sort of changed my approach and started painting over this painting. And this is going to definitely be two-parter. Next time I'll get into where we ended up going, and I'm excited about sharing the results because it absolutely, I think, reflects it's obvious and it's evident that I was having a lot more fun. I think you'll be excited to see the results and how the painting turned out and how it changed when I decided to focus on more of doing it for fun, enjoying myself, putting energy into it, relaxing, having a good time, and not worrying about would it get attention, would it be something that would sell, would it fit into a body of work that would be attractive to a gallery, etc. Sorry to keep you hanging, but stay tuned. I'm excited to show you guys where this ended up. See you next time. Thanks. Peace.